Welcome back. In this video, we're going to prepare this screen here. So this is the update screen as well as the create screen. It's the same screen. The only difference is the information that we see inside of it, as well as a few things like the text that you see here. It says add wish and the bottom says add wish instead of update wish and update wish. Okay, so obviously the title and description are populated. We're going to look at that tomorrow. So today we're just setting up everything for the user interface, which is already quite a bit, but that's what we want to set up for this video, basically this user interface. So you see, we again need a scaffold with a nav bar. So the good thing is we have this, what is app bar? We had this app bar already and we can reuse the app bar and we can actually display the back button and give it some features and functionality because we have set it up so that we can modify it basically. And then we just have a very simple edit text, another edit text and a button underneath. So let's set up this user interface. Therefore, let's go ahead and create a new Kotlin file class, and this one will be a composable. So new file, and I'm going to call this one AddEditDetailView. Okay, so it's the add as well as the edit as well as the detail view. So it is all those things together, not just one of any of those things. So this will be a composable. All right, and I'm going to call this one AddEditDetailView. And now this AddEditDetailView or AddEditDetailView needs a few parameters. It needs to know the ID, it needs to know the view model, or it needs the view model as well as the nav controller, because we want to be able to move through that screen, right, to the detail view screen. Okay, so let's start with the scaffold. So I'm going to have a scaffold here, and now this scaffold needs a content, but before I start with the content, I want to define what should be inside of this scaffold. So you know, we can use a top bar, and if you recall, we could use this app bar view here, like so, the one that we created ourselves, right? And we can give it a title. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say if the ID is not equal to 0L, then I want to call this one update wish, and else I want to call this add wish. And here I need to make sure that I set this up like this. So that's one way, but I'm going to show you how to use string resources next. So how can I actually use these strings here and modify them later on, for example, to have them available in different languages or stuff like that? Well, the thing is, we have these resources values strings. Okay, so inside of this here, we can find different strings. One is already there, that's the app name, which is by default just the name of the project that we created, but we can also add other items here. So for example, we can have the update wish inside of there. So I'm going to give it the name of update wish, and actually update underscore wish, and the content of it will just be update wish. So the string that will be inside of it, and here I don't need to use the parentheses in there. And then I'm going to create another string, which now gives me, well, which will have the name of add wish, and that will just be add wish. So now these resources are available and I can access them from here. How do I access string variables? Well, I can use something called string resources. So you can say string resource, and then I can define the ID, and it's ir.string.updateWish, and else it's going to be the same thing, string resource, only that it's not update wish, but it's add wish. So here, add wish, like so. Now all of that needs to happen for the top app bar inside of curly brackets. So the other way would have worked as well. And that's like so. So the other way would have worked as well, but I wanted to show you how string resources work. So that's our top app bar that we now added, but we also need to make sure that our scaffold has some content. So you see, it just complains because the scaffold cannot be empty. So I'm going to put a column in here, which will have a modifier dot padding, which will be it. And now let me add column here, which will be that one here. Let's add modifier from Jetpack Compose, and let's give our column a content. So suddenly we have no error anymore. Our AddEditDetailView is now good to go. Now I want to add a few more parameters to my column so that they are actually going to look like you can see here. So the column will wrap its content. So here it's going to be wrap content size, as well as the horizontal alignment should be alignment center horizontally, and the arrangement vertically should be arrangement dot center. So I want items to be centered. Then I'm going to have a spacer. So you see here, there's this spacer. So I'm going to start with the spacer of a height of 10 pixels. So modifier dot height of 10 dp, and we need to import dp. So let me see here, import dp. So that's our spacer. And then I want to have this text field here. So you see, it looks a little different. So it has a certain style. Okay, and I want to define how that style is, because you see here we have the outlined, it's basically an outlined text field, but I want to be able to modify it by passing a string to those text fields. So let me create a separate wish text field. Actually, I believe it would be too long for this video. So, all right. So the focus of this video was really just to set up the beginning of our edit detail view. In the next video, we're going to set up how such an individual item is going to look like. So the wish text field is going to look like. So we're going to style it ourselves. All right. So see you in the next video.